actually more creative and more inspirational than you think you are. And you will have a voice, even though you don't think you have one. So that's what I'm proud of, putting something visual and communicating that, in a particular project that I love to do.
Hello and welcome to Creatives Like Us, where I speak with creatives of colour who share journeys and stories and ideas and how they can inspire and open up avenues in creative industries. I'm your host, graphic designer Angela Lyons, and with the help of my guests, I will bring you insightful interviews and compelling stories that can inspire you to think about things differently or shape your next move. Being a creative of colour can bring its challenges, highs and lows and in-betweens. But this podcast is about amplifying our voices and celebrating together. So, are you ready? Let's get started with Creatives Like Us. Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do you want to tell people what kind of creative you are and where you are in the world?
Hi, Ange. Thank you for having me. Well, there's lots about me that is multidisciplinary. I probably call myself mainly a graphic designer and also a photographer. I basically love designing. So from a very young age, I've been wanting to be creative. It didn't start off that way. Actually, I wanted to start off in the fashion industry, and I wanted to study. And from art school, I wanted to go into London College of Fashion. It's where I did my first attempt to be in fashion. Yeah, so of course that didn't end up that way. I wanted to still do design, but I think for me, I wanted to get into different areas of the creative industry. So I pivoted to graphic design and I did a degree in that. So yeah.
So you call yourself a graphic designer now?
Yes. Yeah. Graphic designer and photographer.
Brilliant. And where are you in the world?
Well, I am originally from, if you can tell by my accent, from your neck of the woods, London.
Yeah.
I'm from South London, and I recently moved to Wales, to South London to South Wales.
Brilliant.
My family is originally from Jamaica, but we've been living in the UK for many, many years.
And what made you, just out of interest, what made you go to Wales?
Yeah, people have said that, is thinking, well, there's not many people like us, and creatives like us, with people of colour. And for me, to be honest, I know they say location, but actually I just like the house.
Yeah.
And when, with London, it's very expensive. And I grew up in a large house in London, but we had to downsize as a family. So I wanted a big house, and you get a lot more money, more house, I should say, for your money. And so I wanted more space. Love the house. It's a large Victorian house, lots of space. So yeah.
Brilliant. And what's the countryside? Is it country beachy or is it?
Yeah, there's lots of country and lots of hills, and it's easy access. I still can get back to London, just take public transport if I wanted to. Lots of beach, lots of walks. So it's great for thinking a slower pace of life, which I'm not used to because obviously from London, it's
the
a bit
hustle
hectic.
And bustle.
Exactly. And so it did take some time to acclimatise. But if I want to get, the city life, I can go to Cardiff.
Do you feel comfortable there being a person of colour, just out of interest? Have you settled in?
I think I have, but to be honest with you, even in London, even though there's many people like me, probably by talking to me right now, I talk a lot, but when I was younger, I was very, very quiet. I was totally the opposite. And I never, even not just about people who look like me, but people who could have the same opinions and, think like me. So even though I'm in Wales, I don't feel that that's a problem because I tend to do and think and come up with my own ideas anyway. So I think, no, I don't have a problem with that at all.
And I hear it's lovely in Wales anyway. Sometimes cold and windy and wet, but I hear they're just all chilled. Yeah, it's the UK. We're not in the Caribbean. So you mentioned graphic design and starting off with your projects and artwork. So could you tell people, how did you start?
How did I start? My mother is she passed away many years ago, but when she was alive, she was a midwife. And I think I spent a lot of time with her. She's not creative at all. But I did hang out with her and go out with the shops and do lots of things with her. So she, like many Jamaican families, they like to have their hair done. They like to go to the salon.
The fancy clothes.
So her presentation was very important to her. So I spent a lot of time at the hairdressers. And, as a child, you get very, very bored easily. But funny enough, this Jamaican family had a salon, and it was very unusual in the time. And we went to a hairdresser shop, and at the time there was a lot of magazines, and for the UK there's not many black magazines. So like Ebony, I think it was Essence. So when I was bored waiting for my mother to get her hair done, I flicked through a lot of magazines. So that's how I got started interested in photography and graphic design.
Nice, okay.
And then I studied it later on, as I mentioned, at doing a graphic design degree. I also studied art at school. Wasn't interested in science, wasn't interested in maths. It wasn't my bag.
Yeah.
So I took art and all the languages I could think of. I loved Italian as well, something that was creative.
Oh, wow.
So don't worry, I'm not going to speak Italian.
I was going to say, do you speak Italian anymore?
I can hear it more than I can speak it.
Yeah, sure.
So went to art school, as I said. And for me, graphic design was a natural thing for me to do. So my journey was a bit of a strange one, because even though I studied graphic design, I didn't actually go immediately into the graphic design industry. So I went to look for work in the design industry. And unfortunately, it took a while because I found that there was no one looking like me in the industry. I was looking for jobs in like startups. I tried for a good year or two, and maybe it's because of the economy, I'm not sure, but I was going to companies that were basically white owned, younger than me, male. So there's no females as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept on applying. So I went for jobs that weren't creative in the end. So I just wanted to get some money, pay the bills, as I mentioned. So in the end, I was working in business organizations and governments and companies, and I learned a lot, but I basically felt like I didn't fit in immediately because it was very conservative as well. So I did learn a lot in the sense that I did more business, and I learned about, working in teams, etc. But as years went on, I was doing less and less creative things. And the jobs that I was doing was, I felt isolated as well because I was the only black person in my team. So there was human resources, there was recruitment, but I felt that I was kind of like made an example of in some ways because certain things were happening to me in the team that I wasn't happy with. So I also can expand upon that as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good time for me.
Yeah. Well, that's sad. That's a sad situation. But how did you get out of that situation? Did you decide to go in creative works yourself, or to set up your own shop, set up your own business, or do freelance work?
I did a few bits and pieces here and there in my spare time. So it wasn't a full-time graphic design career at the time. I was working a full-time 9 to 5 in an office. But I think the turning point when I did more work that was more creative, within the same organization, I applied for another role. And it was a similar situation. I wasn't getting acknowledged.
Gosh.
That sounds like
that company wasn't right for the day.
I didn't want to make it sound that bad. Don't get me wrong. It was a good experience for me.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I don't know if you've seen, I was comparing it to myself. Have you seen Severance, the TV program?
No, I haven't, no.
I won't mention it to people and spoil it for anyone who's listening. But there was a character on there who's the only black person in his corporate America, and his name's Mr. Milchek. And even though I can relate to him because for me, even though there was opportunities, I was trying to apply for roles within the organization and weren't getting promoted. I applied 3 or 4 or 5 times, and it's clearly that I was experienced. There's people who were younger than me, who were white, who were getting the positions, and I didn't get seen. And it was getting frustrating. So when I jumped ship to another part of the company, I decided that, this is not going to happen for me. I'm just going to start again. So in the end, I decided to apply for another role, as I mentioned. And it wasn't just different, but it wasn't the same. There were different people I was speaking to about progressing in the company. But for me, I felt that this is not my true calling. I am a designer. I felt that it was affecting my mental health as well because I wasn't being creative. And I find creativity kind of a release, a kind of therapy for me. The more work I was doing non-creative, the more I didn't realize this at the time, but I wasn't actually, was doing very well. And the final thing that put a nail on the coffin, you could say, was that there was redundancies. People were being made redundant in the same organization.
Oh, wow.
So what happened in my team, that you basically had to reapply for your own job. It's kind of like you ring fence the jobs around. Yeah. So I applied for my job again. And then within 3 years, they did it again. People were being made redundant. So successful, I successful quotation marks.
Yeah.
I got the job that I was actually doing. And then 2 years down the line, I actually was almost made redundant again and applied for my role a second time. So while this was all going, I decided I was going to start my own blog.
Brilliant.
About lifestyle and design.
Wow.
So while I was trying to fight for my day job, I started my own blog.
Brilliant.
And that's how we met, I think.
We did. So that was your creative outlet, wasn't it? And we met at the Blogosphere, because I used to work, well, I still do, a magazine called Blogosphere. It's now called Be Creator. And there was the magazine that there was a launch party. Every time we had a magazine, we had a launch party. And I think also I might have gravitated towards you because maybe you were the only black person in the room. I'm really sorry to say that, but
no, I gravitated towards you.
So I say sorry, no, I don't sorry, but it's, it's one of those things when you see two black people, they'll be like, oh, you mate, hi.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And they're not, and it's not like Be Creator any way, shape or form, not inclusive at all, because they really are. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love working with them, because they really are inclusive. But you've also got to get the people to come to these events or take part in the magazine too. So the magazine was called Blogosphere, and it was about blogs on the internet, but we repurposed them into a magazine. I suppose it has created community. It's a big creator community. Yeah. So that's where we first met him, wasn't it? And then we've just recently connected on Instagram again, haven't we? And we have,
yes.
Hooking up and see each other. I was like, oh my gosh, it's you. Is it you? We're talking about a good few years ago, aren't we? Like, at least
your name came up, and I thought, what's that name? And then the penny dropped. You reminded me.
It must have at least even about 7 years ago, maybe even that.
Probably more than that.
More than that, I reckon. Gosh, but thank you for connecting again, and thank you for joining me again today.
No problem.
So, from the design blog, did you stay in that corporate role, or did you move on, or did you continue doing? What did you do creatively to get to where you are now? Are you in a creative role now?
I'm going to basically be honest with you. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I know that I prefer to be a graphic designer. I am actually learning how to start it again. So at the moment, I'm going to be developing a portfolio, my website, and also I would like to do more illustration as well as photography. So what I did learn from doing my own blog about lifestyle and design, still up there if anybody wants to see
tell us the name. Tell us the name and I'll put the link.
Yeah, it's called digitalfluidity.com. And so it's still there. It's actually, I was very proud of it and still am, because I learned a lot about putting up a website, learned WordPress, blogging, and also the community. I also learned, and also that's where when I met you, I realized there's a bigger community out there other than myself.
Yeah, sure.
But for design wise, I decided that I still want to keep doing illustration and graphic design. And at the same time, the community aspect of me getting out there is probably important.
Yeah, definitely. It was great. Actually, that's one thing. It's really good because the community is there. And even though you're behind a computer screen in the world of blogging, and again, even your photography, you're behind a camera, but it's actually getting out and about and actually discovering different people. And that's
exactly.
That really makes you creative again. I don't know about you, but when I meet people, I come back buzzing with ideas. It's just like, or something else to do. Too much sometimes.
Look, more ideas, the better.
Brilliant. So what is it you would love to do? So you said you're working on your portfolio right now. Is there anything in your portfolio that you're working on that you're really proud of that you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, because I mentioned the photography aspect. Portfolio-wise, there's some work that I've done many, many years ago, and it was fun. I think also going way back into my university days, there's one project that I really was happy with. The project was basically about informing people about people's phobias, and I focused on a charity that dealt with anxiety, etc. And you can do any phobia that you liked, and I did one that was based on claustrophobia, and it was good because that was the first time I realized I could introduce a lot more of my photography in the work. It was great because it came across, because I visually put it in a situation where if you were in a situation where you have anxiety, how would that visually look like to somebody? And with the London Underground is probably the obvious place I could think of. And I literally, not supposed to do this, but I sneakily took photos of some of the pictures on London Underground. And I love architecture as well. So I put some architectural aspects. So that's what I'm proud of. Putting something visual and communicating that, in a particular project that I love to do. Mixing graphics, illustration, and also, put that in, publications as well.
Yeah, that's great. A nice mix of mediums that you can use there and you express your creativity. Another way you're expressing your creativity at the moment is that you've got a podcast coming out. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, the name and what it's about?
Yeah, because obviously, as you know, there's lots of moving parts of the podcast. So at the moment, I have decided to call my podcast Creatively Eccentric. It's a podcast about empowering creatives, embracing your uniqueness and redefining success. The idea behind it is putting shining a light on underrepresented creatives. And also, I'm very interested in designers who are bold and who have something to say and opinionated. And it's a shining light of people of colour as well as older designers as well that don't get a look in, and women. Yeah, I'm going to try my best.
Brilliant.
I'm also in the middle of creating the content. So yes, I'm excited.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because it's been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be great because I've always, as mentioned, the word community a few times, and I didn't know I was interested in community until my mother, as I mentioned earlier, her community she's basically was a Christian, and her community was her faith. Mine wasn't, because I had no interest in the faith whatsoever. Even when I was going to church, it's a side conversation here, but yeah, I was a bit of a loner at school, and I didn't know that art was going to be such a great way of communicating my opinions, because I didn't speak much. I didn't communicate much, but visually it just meant so much. So it's like, it's fuel for your soul. Yeah. And I just love,
I love that.
Designing. Yeah. And if I can do this within another medium, as in podcasting, and speaking to other designers who haven't been seen or represented, I'm excited to hear the stories, and hopefully people could hear that there's more to life and more than the traditional designer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, that's my next project.
That sounds really good, because it sounds very similar here to what I'm doing. So maybe we should do a little crossover episode one day.
Why not? Yeah, I'm all for it. I love collaborations.
Yeah, let's do that.
Definitely.
Let's do that. Amazing. If there was a project that you could work on right at the moment, what would you like to do in the future? What would your dream project be? This is your time to manifest. What would your dream project be?
I'm just thinking, I'm going through my spreadsheet of ideas and my things to do and my goals.
But the big one.
I think take Creatively Eccentric beyond the podcast, and maybe do a TV show in the future. But that is way down the line. But also have a book as well. As I mentioned, I like design as not just fashion, but also crossover with interiors as well. I can see having conversations across other different disciplines, have a one-to-one about people's creatively eccentric interior design tastes. Yeah, I'm open to all kinds of suggestions. With me, I've got too many ideas. Like you say, how can you have too many ideas?
Yeah.
I don't think you can, but I just need to narrow it and be strategic and make sure that I get the right balance. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of, too many to mention here, but
it's funny, interesting, isn't it?
A show, would be great.
Yeah. It's funny because when you say I've got too many ideas, I got to really hone it down sometimes. I could be like typing away. I could be listening to a podcast. I think, that's a great idea. So I start writing it. Honestly, I have got about 7 notebooks. I also have, because they're for different ideas, different like strands. Like I've got a client idea notebook. I've got like Creatives Like Us notebook. I've got Creatives Like Us event notebook. I've got networking notebook. So I've just got all these things, like these notebooks. I do refer to them, funny enough. People think they might think that I just write them and nothing gets done. But
Angela, don't be apologetic.
Yeah.
This is who you are. This is how you design.
Exactly. It's just how I get my ideas out. And it's just the thing is, if you don't take action, that's the worst thing, I think. We have to be creative and take action at the same time, like a bit like this podcast, because a bit like you again, I had this idea about 2 years ago and I was like, should I do it? Oh no. And it's just, so it's
what pushed you to do the podcast? Obviously, what be in a conversation?
I was at a friend's party, and another friend's daughter was there, and she's at uni, and she's studying to be a designer. But she's working in different disciplines. But that she's doing an overall arching degree in design. So she's not niched down into a specific area. But she said when she was trying to choose the course that she wanted, she did a lot of research. She was really good. She was like looking at podcasts. She was looking at newspaper articles. She was going online searching for Black creatives. And she just said she couldn't find a podcast around Black creatives in the UK. And she goes, I wish there was a podcast like that. And I was like, funny enough, I've been thinking about doing it. She was like, oh, please do it. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
She was actually one of my catalysts. There was various people, but she was one of my catalysts to say, just do it. Just get it out there. Record the trailer. Start asking people to come on. So yeah, I started recording interviews last October 24. And ever since then, and your episode now, that'll be coming out in the summer of 2025. And yeah, we'll take a break for the summer and then we'll come back with season 2. So yeah, I've got people booked in already for that. But it's thankfully, and Heather's listening now because she's obviously going to, Heather's my editor.
Yeah, hello, Heather.
Yeah, hello, other Heather. She's been brilliant and she's been helping, obviously, doing the editing and the production of it all. But there is also the other bits where you've got to contact the guests, you've got to make sure they turn up, you've got to, obviously do the automations, set up the reminders, get the folders ready, do the show notes, create the graphics, promote it. So it's not just about, this is the lovely bit. This is the really nice bit where you're talking to people, but you've got to take action and you've got to, I suppose, commit to the action. You can't just do the recording and just let it sit there. You've got to do lots of other bits around it. So that's like any form of creativity. It's like you talking about a book. I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to do a book too. I'm like, yeah, but I was thinking about it the weekend. I'd love to do a book. And I was like, you have no time to do a book right now.
I know.
Calm yourself down.
But it's in the works.
It's in the works. Yeah. So this podcast is about you. I'm sorry, I've talked about me a bit too much.
No, that's fine. It's good. It's a conversation.
So, it's a conversation. Yeah. It is. So if you were to go back into the past and watch yourself as a teenager, what advice would you give your past teenage self?
Well, I have actually been thinking about this, and I know the obvious, some people will give the answer, just trust your gut, but I've always trusted my gut. I would probably say to myself, it's not going to be this bad anymore. It will get better. And you just need to trust that you will get through what you're going through at that time in your life. And even though you feel like you're at rock bottom, you've got this, Heather. You've got this. Actually more creative and more inspirational than you think you are. And you will have a voice, even though you don't think you have one.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add or discuss that we haven't covered?
I'm just happy to make the decisions that, one of them was moving out into a lovely countryside and be mortgage free. That's a great thing.
Wow, congratulations.
I'm ticking all those future boxes that I've got in mind. But I think I'm just happy to get out there. And I think not only I wanted to put a shine on people on my podcast who look like us and sound like us and do the things that we do. But I think I'm happy to be part of the community and actually speak to people like yourself who I can see that you're doing great things, Angela, and you keep up the good work, because we need to have a voice and tell people that not only that we're going to share and shine a light on that community, but also we need to be good to ourselves as well. Because I'm going to do all these things for this person. I'm going to make sure that they get a voice, but I need to do the same for myself as well. So,
that's good advice to yourself too. That's brilliant. It's true. We have to take self-care is very important. I'm really glad that you moved to Wales too, that you actually took that decision and you seem like you're really happy there. So well done you.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to end on our quick fire of 5 questions.
Hope you haven't changed the questions, because I've been rehearsing, I've been listening to all your other.
Oh gosh, I'm going to have to change up the questions for season 2 now. All right, let's go for it. Beach or forest?
Hello, I'm in Wales. Beach.
Book or Kindle?
Book.
Reggae or soul?
It's got to be soul.
All right. Patty or sandwich?
It's going to be my godfather's patty. Right. It's got a mixture of beef and lamb and a lot of Scotch bonnet peppers.
Nice. Oh, that sounds gorgeous. All right. So now, because you've actually been prepped for all the questions, I'm going to throw in a little one here. So as you're an artist, so I'm going to say paintbrush or digital pencil.
I would love to do more paintbrushing, but I would say digital pencil.
Yeah. Nice. And where can people find you online and see your work and find out a bit more about you? How can they connect with you, Heather?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram at Heather Ebanks _ And if you want to see my lovely photography and my blogging and all the lovely things I get up to, on digitalfluidity.com. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn at Heather Ebanks.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate you taking out the time today to talk to me and talk to everyone here listening. So really, really good luck with the podcast. I'm sure you're going to smash it anyway. And I'll be listening out for yours. And we'll connect with her together on that one. But thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been wonderful. And it's been great to reconnect with you again.
Definitely, 100%. It's been so good. All right. Take care today and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. Let me start by giving thanks. Thank you for tuning in to Creatives Like Us. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it thought-provoking, inspiring and entertaining. If you did, it would absolutely make my day if you could share, subscribe, rate, review, wherever you get your podcast from. Also, if you have a question or a comment, I'd love to hear from you. All the ways to connect are in the notes. Until next time, keep being creative like us.